reality, we are heavily engaged economically with China. Ang critical infrastructure natin, ang mga Chinese are heavily invested in it. NGCP, ka-partner nila, is a Chinese company. Globe,
Right.
Huawei is heavily involved in our telecoms. Etong ginagawa ngayon sa tabi ng Philippine Star na Cavitex na extension Chinese ang gumagawa. Nandun ang laka-laka na sign ng kumpanya. How realistic, how easy will it be to economically disengage from China? Kasi ito yung nakikita ngayon dito sa creation ng Luzon Economic Corridor na one step lang yan, one step actually. Pero actually, gaano kadali siya? It's very hard. Even Australia na nagrereklamo about economic coercion by China, hindi sila basta-basta maka-disengage Talagang naging intertwined. It became the second largest economy. China became the world's second largest economy because the entire world embraced the Chinese economy. So gaano kadali yung sinasabi natin na ganyan, we're complaining about economic coercion. How realistic is it to really get away from, pati mga business groups natin nagsasabi, dahan-dahan kayo kasi marami kami negosyo ron.
Right.
Agree. I totally agree with your observation, Ma'am Annie. No? Actually, it's not only in the Philippines that is happening. No? Even if you go to Europe, last time I was in Spain, the Spaniards were saying that the Chinese are buying us. If you go to Germany, same as to in their country, yung mga critical infrastructures nila, like in the water system, ang may hawak dyan, mga Chinese. Same as to in France. So everywhere, even if you go to New York and to some other big cities around the world, yung mga nag-i-invest sa mga cities na yan, mga Chinese. So the Philippines is not exempted. I just recently attended a meeting because I'm a consultant also in DNR. Itong project ng mining, mga Chinese din na mga may hawak. No? So what I'm trying to drive at here is that, of course, the Chinese are very strategic because they are very competitive when it comes to economic security. No, that is a given. That's their niche. It's so natural in their DNA. Pero we can still control this through or prevent it through our national laws. No, kaya nga medyo mahigpit pa tayo dun sa 60-40 and then of course yung mga regulation natin in favor of pro-Filipinos and pro-Philippines, dapat lumutang pa rin yan. Because of course, no, this is not only happening in our country, but actually around the world. Kaya nga number 2 world economy sila. Imagine the future where they will become the number 1 economy, no, in the world. That's a different scenario. Lalong mas nakakatakot. That's the reason why the Malacanang has recently pronounced na they're not closing yet their doors to China. Ibig sabihin, while they are engaging with Japan and the US, they are still seeking for some peaceful resolutions on how to resolve this problem with China. Because if you try to look at it, ang problema lang natin naman kay China is our strategic and security issue. Plus, of course, you also have some economic problems there. Pero China is inevitable. It is a fact. No? So, kailangan hindi natin siya pabayaan.
So, okay, Chester, in your words, China is inevitable. So, what's the calculation of the Philippines? What's your calculation? Where are we headed with all these moves and these actions, this military buildup involving Japan and the U.S.? Is this towards deterrence, making China, pushing back China from its aggressive actions there? Or do you see a limited conflict unavoidable at this point?
For me, I'd like for the Philippines to explore diplomatic flexibility. While we are having some rapprochements, economic and diplomatic rapprochements with our like-minded nations, at the same time, let's still engage with China. No, this is not to isolate them because China is a great power. No, it's a major power. So we cannot get rid of them in any equation and calculation. So be it in economics, the military, and of course cultural, China will always be there. It's just a neighbor. No? So what we're trying to drive at here is to think of clever and alternative mechanisms on how to resolve this dispute. What we are trying to, because of course, no, we have tried a lot of experimentation with China already, from being kinder to them, being patient with them, and of course now trying to show some teeth also to them. So we have not yet calculated the exact formula of having a good relations with them. But this is not the sole problem of the Philippines. No, other countries have tried and tested many formulas with China for centuries, and up to now they are still engaging with that kind of formula, different formula on how to get the temperaments of China. So same as true with the Philippines. No, we had this problem with China only in 1995. No, we are not talking of a centuries relations with China yet. No, so it's a work in progress. I
Okay,
would call it it's
Chester.
a work in progress.
Yeah, Chester, I wonder if you mentioned diplomatic flexibility with China. Is this possible with EDCA, with a trilateral summit, with a alliance of sorts with Japan and the U.S.? Haven't we boxed ourselves in with the U.S. and Japan on this matter?
Well, for me, this is also a way of allowing China to learn from its mistakes.
Will China
Because
see it
right
that
now
way,
it's-
Chester, knowing how the Chinese
Definitely,
think?
China will not think that way, especially that while Xi Jinping is the president,
Okay.
is the leader of China. Until Xi Jinping is the leader, it remains that way. But we are experimenting on a norm that if we succeed on a rules-based norms and a collective deterrence, we might tame China and we might give the benefit of the doubt that China will obey international law. So we are still in that stage of trying to experiment with that kind of norm.
would
I
you-
don't want
Ches-
to discount
Chester,
it yet because it's still a process.
Yes, Chester,
Yeah.
we're kind of running out of time, but I'd like to throw in this last question. What you're saying right now, we're experimenting, we're hoping for some diplomatic flexibility. Is this also
Yeah.
the thinking within the Philippine defense establishment?
It's a different mindset right now because we have steered or shifted towards territorial defense. The mindset right now is to defend the territory by hook and by crook. At the same time, to expand our diplomatic network and to modernize our armed forces. I think they are now returning to the heritage of the concept of national defense instead of the concept of national security. So I think that is the mindset of the defense and security sector right now.